Welcome back to The Real Story. A lot of money riding on the upcoming election in November. We're not talking politics or government contracts. Gamblers placing their bets on the party nomination. And who's going to the White House? And of course, when there's gambling involved, you've got experts setting the odds. Electionbettingodds.com tracking the numbers. Senator Marco Rubio leading the pack with the best chance of winning the Republican primaries. John Stossel hosts Stossel on the Fox Business Network, and he's here to explain all of this gambling. All right, now you came up with the website, electionbettingodds.com. What is it?
Well, I came up with it because I'm sick of your polls and all of our polls here, because the polls haven't been very accurate. You think about, you're in a bar, people are mouthing off, and someone says, yeah, you want to put some money on that? And they often say, well, wait a sec. When you put your money where your mouth is, you're really investing in what you think is true. And when you get a crowd, a lot of people doing that, you get the most accurate predictions. In most every election in our history, the bettors, and it's illegal in America, so most of it's in Europe, the bettors have given more accurate predictions than the polls or the pundits. That's
so interesting, because there's been a lot of discussion about the polls not being accurate over the last decade or so. Has a lot to do with cell phones and who actually wants to take the call and answer, right?
Right.
All right, now, if people go to this website, it changes all the time as far as who's in the lead. Why?
Because the bettors are, it's like a stock market. The stocks are constantly going up and down based on what people think the future is. And people are betting based on how much money they have, swing states, the polls, constantly changing.
Okay.
And I created this because it's illegal, as I say, in America. Betfair is the largest one in Europe, but the way they post them, it's unintelligible. No American can understand it. So this merely converts the European betting into an American form.
Okay, let's look at the Democratic side then. So here are the primary odds. And you have Mrs. Clinton at 85.1% walking away with it. But we just did a thing about the polls about how Bernie Sanders is leading.
Right, and that's just misleading. Yeah, maybe in polls they're leading in these two states, Iowa and New Hampshire, but so what? She's a shoo-in, say the people who put their money where their mouths are.
Okay, what about who will eventually get to the White House? Let's look at that graphic, because it's suspenseful for me too. Let's see, who's going to get there? Clinton, 53.1%. Rubio is second at 13.7%. Wow. What do you make of it?
I make that this is bad news because she scares me, but this is just, we have to face this truth. She is the huge favorite.
All right. And the Republican side, you said it's changing all the time.
Trump is leading in the polls, but he has never led in the betting. He's actually doing much better lately. He's passed Cruz, but Marco Rubio still leads in the betting for the Republican nomination.
Okay, we're going to archive this interview right here and see where we are in a couple of weeks after Iowa and New Hampshire. It's a fascinating way to look at it. Electionbettingodds.com by John Stossel. Thanks much.
Thanks.